Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So Devin, Haney, and Lomachenko are in serious negotiations to fight for all of the belts at 135. And this whole situation puts Lomachenko in a similar situation to Canelo Alvarez. Not exactly the same, but similar. Meaning Lomachenko is now surrounded by nothing but dangerous fights. Tough fights, hard fights to win. He's fighting against Devin Haney, who could possibly be the most talented fighter, or at least top two, one of the most talented fighters today. And after he fights Devin Haney, assuming he loses to Devin Haney and doesn't retire, he'll most likely have to fight the other top two most talented fighter today, Shakur Stevenson. And the real bad news for Lomachenko is those are not the only two fighters that can most likely beat Lomachenko in the division. The lightweight division has become the deepest division, arguably, in the sport right now. There is just an overflow of talent in this weight class right now. Now, don't get it twisted. Lomachenko is still one of the most dangerous and the most talented in the weight class. It's just an uphill battle for him from this point on when it comes to all the talent he's most likely going to have to face. So Shakur Stevenson, who knows both of these fighters very well, he sparred with both Devin Haney and Lomachenko and has called both of them out. He's been aggressively calling out Lomachenko for quite some time. He gave his take on the fight between Devin Haney and Lomachenko. Shakur said, quote, "I got Devin winning. Devin is faster, taller, longer, and I just think with the reach advantage, he's going to outbox him," end quote. You know, I think the natural consensus is if Lomachenko struggled against a handpicked opponent in Jermaine Ortiz, who had nowhere near the experience or talent that Devin Haney has, there's obviously no way Lomachenko can beat Devin Haney. And I pretty much agree with that to a certain extent. Of course, it depends on exactly how Devin Haney fights. Devin Haney most likely won't make the mistakes that Jermaine Ortiz made in his fight. I feel one of the biggest mistakes Jermaine Ortiz made when he was fighting against Lomachenko is he was doing much better when he was standing right in front of Lomachenko. When Loma would try to attack or at least throw feints, Jermaine Ortiz, he would stand his ground and he would feint like he's ready to counter. One of his most effective moves when he was reacting to Lomachenko was either dipping to his right like he's about to counter with a right hook or dipping to his left like he's about to counter with a left hook. When he did that, that kept Lomachenko extremely defensive because he didn't want to get caught with that counter. I believe one of the biggest mistakes that Jermaine Ortiz made in this fight was when he started moving away from Lomachenko. I truly believe that builds up Lomachenko's confidence when you start moving away from him. Not only did he move away, but he would try to counter with his hands down, and Lomachenko was too fast for that. Now, there were definitely times when Ortiz was effective countering Lomachenko, but it was inconsistent. Something else I don't understand when it comes to Jermaine Ortiz is he's a switch hitter. And when he switched to southpaw, Jermaine Ortiz was far more successful, especially fighting on the inside, which is where he should have kept the fight. Whenever he went into the southpaw position, Ortiz was able to go into the high guard and completely start walking Lomachenko down. And he was landing a lot of good punches. He even managed to hurt Lomachenko in the fight. But for some strange reason, Jermaine would switch back to conventional, and that's when he would start getting hit with a lot of straight punches from Lomachenko. And then on top of that, Ortiz, he started to gas out. He couldn't keep the same pace, which is when he really started getting caught with punches. I don't see Devin Haney gassing out. I don't see him making the mistakes that Ortiz made. I think Devin Haney, he knows that he has to stand his ground in front of Lomachenko. That doesn't mean you can't move at all in the ring, but it has to be effective movement. It has to be the movement that's really going to set something up. You know, some fighters move around the ring because they're actually frustrated and they're trying to figure out what to do next while they're moving. And then you have other fighters that move for a purpose. They're walking you into something. They're really setting you up for a trap. Fighters like Shakur Stevenson and Vasyl are perfect examples of that. Obviously, the main way to beat a fighter is to disarm him, take away his best attributes. And when it comes to Lomachenko, his best attribute is his angles. And unfortunately for Lomachenko, Devin Haney, he specializes in nullifying a fighter's best talents. Something else I noticed about Lomachenko, and you can really see this in the Teofimo Lopez fight, Lomachenko will not throw punches if there's not 100% guarantee that he won't get caught with something in return. Loma is good at reading his opponent's position, and this is the reason why Loma really didn't let his hands go for the first 6 rounds against Teofimo Lopez, because Teo was always in great position to counter. You notice in the second half of that fight, Lomachenko started to let his hands go more, and what happened? Loma got hit more in that fight than he got hit in probably the majority of his fights, if not all of his fights. Because this is exactly what he was worried about in the first half, is getting hit with those counters, but he had no choice but to let his hands go because he knew he was trailing in that fight. He's gonna find himself in the same situation in the Devin Haney fight, where he's gonna have to get desperate, because if Teofimo Lopez can nullify Lomachenko, we all know that Devin Haney is 5 times a better fighter than Teofimo Lopez. He does every single thing better than Lopez. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Decay Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodecay.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com. Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. So to get this hookup, make sure you follow and contact my man Scalp Carolinas on Instagram.